order. Let the minutes reflect that all the board members are present. We're going to have a chance to take a look at the consent calendar and minutes. I would like to add an executive session. Doesn't really matter where, if you want to make it 5A after items for discussion. Any other additions or corrections? And if there are none, motion to accept consent calendar and minutes as written.
I'll move. I'll second.
Motion and second.
We'll start with Jeff Clamp.
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland.
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker.
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. Anyone in the audience tonight wishing to make statements? Hearing none. Chief's report.
The only thing I have to add, Friday we received our final valuation. Our mill levy went to, we originally had it at 6.293 and the final is 6.291. So we went down another 200.
It was what? What do you got?
Was 6.293, what you guys approved in July.
693 and six.
There's a little bit more valuation than there was.
The bill.
Yes, we saved money.
Okay. That's good.
That's breaking my heart.
That was just a little more revenue,
A
huh?
little more revenue, yeah. And it usually always does that.
Yeah.
There'll be another house or something built. So, other than that, reminder of the open house Friday, Saturday, from 1 to 4.
I will not be able to
Be here
attend. I'll
Friday,
be
1
out
to
of
4.
town.
Yeah, avoid the crowd. Do what, Jim?
I'll be out of town.
Okey doke.
I'm leaving early Saturday morning, coming back Wednesday night.
Did everybody
I want to
receive
visit
their...
my kinfolk in Woodruff, South Carolina.
Dinner?
Oh.
Yeah, did everybody receive their invites for the city dinner?
Yes.
Because I emailed out your addresses to the city.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got mine.
Yeah,
And speaking of which, how many plan on going to that?
I'm gonna try.
Jeff?
I am in California this weekend.
Oh.
I'm sorry there.
You mean for the meet
Be there.
this weekend?
You going?
No, I'm the dinner.
Yeah, we're trying to do the dinner.
Awards dinner for the city?
Yeah, I'll be RSVP this morning.
Okay, good. All right. Moving on to items for action. Request for equipment for the new truck.
This is minimal equipment that we cannot transfer off the other truck. We're going to take a lot of equipment off the one truck and make it just a Class 9 truck. But this is equipment that has to be a common factor of all trucks. So this
What's the capability of a Class 9 truck?
it doesn't have to have air packs. It just has to have a pump and hose and nozzles.
Sort of a backup deal?
Yeah.
Water backup or something?
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple questions. First is, when I wished originally, had we knew this, when we spent $468,000 for a fire truck, that these figures would have been included in there with the total. To me, this is to complete the new truck. Right?
Yeah.
And when we voted $468,000, I didn't know at that time that we was gonna come back and need $13,050. So, don't know why that didn't happen, but you knew you was gonna need that equipment.
And well, I emailed, or I left you guys a note last month saying this is what we're going to be asking for next month. So yeah, you're right, I did.
Yeah, and I wish, because we're spending taxpayers' money, and to me, it looks like, aren't we doing our job? Why wasn't that included in the total?
Well, some of it was left off accidentally when we went back through after we got all the bid specs, like the integrated Opticon, that was supposed to have been in there, and no, it wasn't, so that needs to be added to the truck. Any other just add-on stuff that's just equipment.
Well, I'm just saying is, when we got all of the bids and the specs, and we went back and got the loan to do it from the bank. Had that all been in there, we would be voting technically on a different price. To me, you take the $468,000, now you can add $13,050 to get the new truck
Well,
where you want it.
Well, yeah, but then we'd be paying interest on that $13,000 where this is gonna come out of our equipment fund, and we did budget some money for this for next year.
Okay, and my last thing on that, and when I called you, we got $11,000 for the old truck. Now, to me, now that we gotta do this anyway, then what you're actually asking for is $3,050 if we go ahead and
Use the funds from
use
the
the
sale.
funds from the old truck.
Right.
I think it would look better that way. They know that we sold the truck, we're taking that and investing in the new truck, than saying we spent that money, now we're coming back. So you're only $3,050 in the hole for what you want.
Right.
Those funds are in the general fund anyway?
Yeah.
Truck, sale of the truck?
Is that equipment
Well,
reserve?
we have to, that's what we're gonna be doing the budget amendment for, is to allow us to spend those funds. We got the money, it's sitting in the bank, but we can't technically spend it because we didn't budget to
So you do a
spend it.
budget amendment, put it into a certain fund, then,
Right, right.
which
And
is
we're
gonna
do
be
that
the
in Dece- we're gonna
equipment
do that-
fund, which
yeah.
is the same fund we're gonna be pulling out of.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, it's gonna go, yeah, we can put it whatever fund, Steve said, we can put it
13,000.
whatever fund we want to, except for the equipment. We can't budget to the equipment reserve for unamended, but we can budget to the equipment fund and spend this out of the equipment fund, not
So
equipment reserve.
pulling the $13,050 out of the equipment fund, and then we put in that $11,000 for the sale of the truck.
We're
Leaves us
2,000 in the hole,
2,000 in the hole.
and we can do that.
That's what you're recommending?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's good for us to relate to the taxpayers that we got the new truck coming, we equipped with 13,000, but 11 of it comes from the sale of the old truck.
Right.
So I mean, it's
Yep.
Right, and that's what
a $3,000 upgrade
Right.
Right.
equipment.
Who's asking
Look
questions about that kind of detail? What taxpayers want to know about all that?
Well, they pay attention when they're watching TV, and we even had a city councilman, right, want to know if we got leather bucket seats in the fire truck, right? And my thing is, Jim, whether you get to see it or not, a lot of people watch our meeting, and they say, well, they just spent that, now why are they spending that money? Didn't it come with the truck? And it looks better now, we're telling them on TV that we're using 11 of the old truck, so we're only gonna come up with the difference, which is 2,000 now, I guess. Doesn't it sound better to you? It does sure to me.
I wasn't even thinking about the TV.
They watching it. And there you go again, it's their money, it's the tax levy people, and we're here to operate and protect their money, so.
Well, that's a good point to make, that 90% of that's going to come out of the sale for the old trucks.
Right.
Now it's kind of muddied up. Do we need a motion to approve the $1,350, knowing where it's coming from?
Yep.
Right.
I mean, that's a shuffle.
When is the budget amendment for,
Steve said let's do it in December, so we'll do it in December
2 months.
3rd
Okay.
meeting.
Okay.
so the motion can say, take the $1,350 out of the equipment fund, and then we'll worry about the budget amendment in December.
Perfect.
Because right now, we're gonna wait till November to see how much money we get from the county, because we're right now at 104% of our budget
Okay.
for income, and we've got another 16,000 coming in.
So we need a motion.
Yes.
I move we start purchasing loose equipment that is needed for the new truck in the amount of $13,050, not to exceed $13,050. And the funds will be decremented from the equipment fund. Is that all right?
Sounds good.
Good.
Motion, do we have a second?
I'll go with it.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Jeff Clamp.
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland.
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker.
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. Items for discussion. Jim, we need to talk about the bond first or do the executive committee first, whichever you want.
Well, I prepared a sort of a information paper on all the coordination and research I've done so far on the bond.
Okay.
And I finally hit some pay dirt with Riley, who's, I don't know the right word, like an agent or whatever with Travelers. And she said, normally Travelers, if anybody comes up with anything out of the ordinary, that they can do it. So, I mean, that was after, I coordinated with all the local people and nobody didn't have any kind of bond except Riley and of course no kind of insurance that I had in mind, which now that I see how all that works, it was a folly, because as I got in this paper somewhere, bonds do not replace any funds. I mean, other than what the bonded person commits. In other words, if I do something, it will replace that money and then come after me if the claims adjuster determines all or whatever. If anybody else other than me, employee, Joe Doe out on the street that walks in here and finds $1,000 laying somewhere, it will not cover it. So if you don't have some kind of liability policy or crime policy, you're not gonna get that money back. So, that negated what I thought was an insurance policy. So, a liability insurance from my word. So, this lady, I got her name in here somewhere, from Travelers Biggers, Pam Biggers, very helpful. She sent up a copy of this public officials bond, which is not near as earth-shaking and nerve-rattling as that other thing that we had. And although it does hold your feet to the fire, but it doesn't have all that other crap in it.
Exactly.
So, anyway, basically, as I put here, the way forward is we can't finalize this tonight because the only thing we can do is agree to go ahead and launch the process, which would be provide Riley a filled out copy of this specimen, which I won't be able to do by myself. I'll have to coordinate with Rick. Because the key is how much money we want to put on here in the penal sum. So,
You have a
we do
recommendation?
that, huh?
You have a recommendation?
Well, the lady down there recommended we ought to put the amount of all the money we have in our bank accounts, which is
To
going to be...
protect us from you taking whatever's there.
Let me get with Steve.
Isn't,
Let me get with Steve and see what he suggests.
where am I getting 50? I'm thinking 50,000. Was that required by the TSA or something?
There's 20, our Relief Association treasurer, I think he's 25,000. We've done 50,000 here before.
Yeah.
Let me get with Steve and see if there's a statute that says how much we have to be bonded for.
But the way I look at it, we're talking about getting a bond to protect us from Jim.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not real concerned.
No, but
Not either.
No. We want to be legal,
Where
but,
you was going originally.
yeah, we
Exactly.
want to be legal, but
We've got to be legal. The one thing, though, and I believe maybe Jeff brought up, board coverage in general, we fall under the liability insurance.
that's what that letter was I sent to you
That you
guys.
sent
today. I
out.
got it today. As long as you guys are acting within your realm of responsibility.
Right.
That means you can't come out and say, Jeff, go into a fire and do this and this, because that's over where, that's where that's over your
Yeah,
head. But
right.
as long as you're doing your duties, then you're covered.
Right.
And that's any policy. If you're outside your realm, then just like your driving.
the higher the
driving
penal
insurance.
amount that we put on there, the more the premium's going to be.
Yes.
So
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
They work a
Yeah.
formula, the premium is based on the penal amount.
So, if I can
So-
see you recommending that.
How much money could we lose if somebody got into our bank account or whatever? I don't know.
why don't we get recommendations from the accountant?
Yeah, I'll get with Steve.
And you guys get together, Jim, you and Rick.
Yeah,
and-
so, you know, I got pretty well most all the information here, so that would be the main thing. Then we give that to Riley, they send it down and coordinate with that actuary, and she does all her deal and assigns the premium value, whatever. Sends us back a final that she even signs it. The only thing that's not signed is my signature and the witness, which I would say would be one of you guys, maybe you. And then, that's it. Then I don't know when the bill comes in, you know, if it comes in before that or after or what. But once we get that, then we can, I guess, say, go ahead, and yeah, we're gonna pay for this bond. I mean, you know.
Sure.
So, I'm probably not gonna be able to do much work on it this week or next, because I'm leaving town Saturday and won't be back till Thursday. And I have got some things to do between now and then. I've been busy on this. So I don't know, maybe, you
I
know,
can
maybe we can launch it.
Give me
if we
the
can
lady's
get the
name you've been
penal
talking
amount.
to, and I'll start taking care
If
of
we
it.
can get a good recommendation on the penal amount, you know, I pretty well got all the other information here. Just make a clean copy for, oh, by the way, I'm working with Tammy Wagner down at,
Okay.
yeah, her name's in this paper.
Yeah, I know.
Tammy
I've
Wagner
dealt with her
down there.
before.
She's like the bond
Right.
person.
Jim, if you don't mind, I'd like to see this put in our minutes.
Oh, I don't mind at all.
That way, all the work you've done here ought to be a record.
In fact, if you want me to, I can send you an electronic copy.
No, we'll just take this one, put it right in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thanks for working on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, this looks much better than what you had before. Okay, good.
Well, I've just tried to roll everything together. I went through a whole bunch of scratch notes and emails and all this other kind of thing. And I just, you know, I wanted to capsulize it, and I want to make sure Charlie understood everything.
Well, that may take another meeting.
Just because you don't.
So hopefully at our next meeting, we can, I guess I can make a motion that we go ahead, and I'll make a motion that based on my signature or agreement with the bond, we'll go ahead and get board approval for the premium and that kind of thing.
You and Rick get together and fill this out the way you want and what looks good.
Well, that's what, those exact words on there is what she
Yeah,
recommended.
I mean, this,
Because I didn't understand all
the
that.
only thing is the amount.
Well, yeah, well, that's what, then we'll have to come up with.
Right.
And as far as board approval on it, it's gonna be less than $300, so that's not
Be
a,
two of them. One
never
amount
coming out of
to
that
the total of the bond and the other the
Premium
premium.
payment.
So it'd
Yeah.
be the total of two. But I was gonna go along with you on the thing until you said that, and I thought I'd vote against this thing.
This was discussion. There's no vote. Sorry, Charlie.
like I say, unless you guys have a problem, the premium's only gonna be $300 plus or minus, so that's not even a board
For
issue.
what
A
penalty?
year,
Yeah,
That
not even a board issue.
That was on 50, I believe.
For 50, yeah.
yeah, it's like I say, it won't be a board issue unless you guys wanna make it a board issue.
Yeah.
I'll just get the check wrote and we'll be done with it.
I'd say
Well,
if
it's
Jim's
up-
happy with it, I'm happy with it.
So do you want Rick and I just to go ahead and decide on the penal amount, or do y'all want me to?
Get the recommendation
We'll-
from
we'll
the-
see what Steve
the
says.
accountant, Steve Wagner, and then, yeah, whatever's reasonable.
Okay.
But again, I'm not worried about being protected from you.
Well, I mean, we can make it any amount. She just recommended the whole thing, but she don't quite understand our situation.
Well,
I think she's thinking from more of a financial organization,
Right.
where you're actually,
let me ask you a question, because maybe there's something in this I don't understand. To begin with, you as the treasurer write the check. You with me so far? So it takes more than two people to cash a check, right?
Takes two to sign. Yep.
Right. So you can't get any money out of the checking account without a second signature.
we have a system here that's very, very low risk. Because we don't deal in any cash, we don't have a petty cash fund. everything coming in is in checks or warrants or,
Right.
and a lot of stuff's direct
You're not,
deposit, right?
you're not dealing in cash. You're dealing mostly in,
And all our disbursements or checks are drafting on our account.
so with that being, I'm trying to help down the road, maybe you just go ahead and say, go ahead and do it, and he came up with the $50,000. I don't know what's in our checking account on any given deal, but it still takes two people to get anything out of the cash a check or write a check unless you are crook. And then you're saying you're signing, and you're signing his name or her name or mine or his.
But the whole thing is, the KSA, there's a statute that says a treasurer has to be bonded.
Right,
Well,
right.
you're right. Logically, we should all be bonded, because any two of us can sign a check.
Right.
But it states the treasurer.
Right, right,
And this has replaced the bond that we were doing out of Liberty or out of the group.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
If we go with this, then once we get it finalized, I assume we cancel that CNA.
Well,
CNA bond coming
yeah,
up.
I will talk to them, because that's already built into our insurance, and I'll just tell them we don't need it to cut.
Was it like 175 a year or something?
Yeah, 3 1/4, I think it's. what
So
it's
that'll
built
be
in.
actually
Yeah.
It
neutral.
should be, hopefully it'll be about a
You're
wash.
paying $150.
Yeah.
And we could influence that by determining that amount.
The
And
amount.
that's
Yeah.
378.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think we need to put the whole checking account, just, if maybe 50,000, 100,000.
Like I said, get a recommendation from Wagner, and
Yeah.
we'll,
Yeah.
you guys write it up, and we'll approve it next meeting.
So you want to approve, you want to approve it
No, next
now?
meeting, you let us know what you've done.
Oh,
No, I think we
For
need.
$300
I think we need
Okay,
to-
we'll just let 'em know.
process it until we get the final back.
For
Yeah.
$300, let us know what you did.
Yeah.
Not to exceed $300, if it's gonna be more than that, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. Like
Me
I say,
either, I mean,
we've been paying between 250 and 300.
Comrade Chairman over here almost opened up floodgates and just said,
Yes,
just
he's
spend it and then let us know, He's a nice guy. But
We know the spending authority, though,
Right.
of the chief.
Right. So, if we're saying, yeah, you guys go ahead and take care of it within the $300 realm. If it comes up needing more money, then I think they ought to come back and tell us if it over exceeds what we thought.
Sure.
Right?
Okay, then,
Sounds good.
since we moved the meeting to the first Monday, it puts us in some pretty short traces on getting the treasury report done. So the treasury report's gonna probably be, for this quarter, will be the first month in the next quarter.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I just got the books today, so, for the
That's fine.
statements today, so.
And the only other thing I have is, our budget is looking, the status of the budget, expenditure trend-wise is doing well. Our straight line 75%. Overall, we're 5% below that. If you'll notice that total bottom line, above the resources is 70.04 or something.
0.04, yeah.
Yeah. And all of them are under except a couple of the big expenditures we have to make like at one time.
Well, the only big expenditures we're over is the capital equipment, which we bought a truck, which we didn't budget for.
Yeah, and then probably.
And other than that, we're
And
under.
that'll be it. It'll probably bleed out.
Yeah, we're under everything else.
Yeah. So I think that looks good. Rick's holding the fort.
Looks good.
Yep. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Jim. At this time, I'd like a motion to go to executive session to discuss attorney-client information. And I would say from 7:25 to, let's make it 7:40.
I move we could move into the executive session, starting at 7:25 to 40?
Yeah, 40.
7:40 to discuss attorney-client privileged information.
Correct. Do we have a second?
Second?
Jeff Clem,
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yeah.
Lisa Snodgrass,
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. 40, can I have a motion to reconvene our open meeting?
So moved.
Motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. We're back in open session. Once
Jeff
the vote is
Clapp?
taken.
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland,
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. Any other board concerns at this time? Jeff?
I don't have it.
Charlie? Nope. Lisa? Nope. Jim?
I think I had enough.
All right, just a reminder, open house again is the 12th, 1 to 4. Make it if you're in town, and that's all I have.
The work session with High Prairie on the 30th.
And but to date, we still have not had a response from them.
From you guys or them, nobody.
But we're still gonna have a work session.
What do you need from us on that?
What questions you want brought up and what facts you want brought
They come or
out?
not.
Okay.
As long as we have things to work on, yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got some stuff worked out,
Okay.
what you guys want facts wise or whatever.
I've got some ideas, but I just haven't had time to write them up.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. I have nothing else. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay.
Yes.
Jeff Clapp,
Yes.
Jim Westmoreland.
Yes.
Lisa Snodgrass.
Yes.
Charlie Shoemaker,
Yes.
Dean Moberg.
Yes. Thank you all very much.